a cheese that taunting the.
All right, what's up, YouTube? It's the Night Saint here. All right, I know I haven't been here in a minute. Like I said, been adapting. I'm changing jobs and stuff. So, all right, now I'm back with the sixth law of the law of dimension domination by Franklin Rudolph Young. How to avoid the 13 fatalities of the repelling statement. The catastrophe of saying the wrong thing. No less important than what you say to people is what not to say to them. The wrong word, the wrong statement, or the wrong answer can nullify the mental domination you have built up so far on Jack or Jane. That is why the sixth law means so much to you. All day long, almost everybody wrecks one good opportunity after another or fails to impress one person after another. Only because he says the wrong thing at the wrong time, in the wrong way. People who are not very sensitive to the reactions of others towards them do not sense when their statement offended others. They are always aware that the diplomat is successful with people, while themselves are not. Here are the 13 fatalities of the repelling statement. The 13 fatalities of the repelling statement. Do not poke your nose into other people's business. Never bombard anyone with anyone or a stranger, in particular with intimate personal questions such as how does he earn his living, what is his income, is he married or single, what is his nationality, race, religion, or draft status. Never ask a foreigner, even in naturalized one, why he came to this country. Remain impersonal along personal lines. Everyone is bursting with curiosity about anyone else. About the other fellow, but you cannot achieve mental domination over anyone unless he trusts you and drops his mental guard. Everyone is entitled to privacy. Do not force him to give you a sharp answer and to hold you at the arm's length. Thereafter, even if he's answered your questions, you should know his true personality, his true intelligence, whether he likes to be your friend or do business with you, or what unique knowledge he possesses which could be useful to you. All of this and more could be lost to you in exchange for some superficial knowledge about him. But most of that knowledge would come from him naturally anyway during the course of the conversation. But he should keep it to himself, and he may have his own reasons for doing so. That's his business. Ask nobody what is their accent. Never ask an individual what his accent. Practically every immigrant expects to become a naturalized citizen of the new country, a migrant of one part of the same country to another. To expect to be accepted as a citizen, he resents being singled out as a foreigner. The immigrant, besides, may have lived in your country as long as you have been raised and your family in it. He undoubtedly lost all contact with the old country. Your country is his country. Do you come along and remind him that he's a foreigner? Ask him infuriating questions that make him feel like a man without a country, unless he is fanatically nationalistic. In order to continue extending your mental domination over him, accept him as being as a citizen as you. Don't shake a finger in anyone's face. Seriously, act towards nobody like a prosecuting attorney. If he proves stubborn and argumentative, steadily change that subject by a controversial issue. Never bark at him. Okay, you think you as you like, and I think as I like. It matters little socially whether or not you convince anyone that he is wrong about you, about anything. So why try to? Don't tease him along either, unless you know him well and you two are accustomed to poking fun at each other. Talk about something else rather and pretend to agree with him. Generally, whatever he starts shouting again, then again, change the subject. When being tried in court before an impartial jury or debating before an impartial audience, you have to gain by exposing your adversary's inconsistencies. But in social life, all you want to gain is admiration for you. It requires a bit of mental domination to expose them, only converts them to a bitter enemy. Don't give vent to your emotions. Should Jagger Jane turn abusive during the conversation and draw him away from the main issue and subtly praise something about him? Use one of the 12 or 13 beguiling statements that men or women like to hear about themselves. Don't just end the argument abruptly and walk off. Deaden yourself to veil insults and don't throw them back. In fact, remain or pretend to remain unaffected by them and reply as though you hadn't heard them. Do not alter your voice and give vent to no emotion. If he's quarrelsome and persists insulting you, smile, shrug your shoulders, and drift away. Since he is no friend of yours, why waste time talking to an enemy? Eisenhower said, "Why waste time even thinking about a person who don't even like you, who don't even like you?" Such an attitude aborts a clash and thrills those present with their calm and dignity. Your hostess, even at the party, will bless you. At her next party, will be present, but the person will be absent. Getting in the last word does not win an argument. The social winner is the one who retains respect and admiration on the onlookers. Don't be guilty of vicious flattery. Hand out no vicious flattery. Don't praise Jack in front of Henry just to belittle Henry. Don't commend Larry for his excellent speech so that you can humiliate Mike, who is also present, who has poor speech. Flattery should be constructive, not destructive. Not only does it wound deeply when used as a whip, but also it embarrasses the person flattered. Instead of making a friend of one person, you lose out with two. Neither trust your tongue thereafter. It's amazing how many people engage in abdominal habit and wonder why they can't influence others. Don't cultivate the sharp tongue. Fatality 6. You will exert no mental domination over anyone if you have a sharp tongue. A sharp tongue creates universal uneasiness, but it scares people. It amuses some of the people of the time, but it is antagonizing most of the people most of the time. It divides your associates into groups who like you and people who dislike you. The group that likes you sticks to you, but continue to amusing it. You have to turn your tongue on one of its own members. That spells your doom. That's crazy, because that's absolutely true. Like I said, some people, everybody like not everybody. People find it amusing that people be very like rude and ignorant to people. I hate that. I hate people that just be doing that for zero purpose. And it's like it's always good until it happens to them, right? Like I said, like nobody really cared, nobody really mattered until it happened to them. So I think that is really connected to that. Fatality 6. Oh no, I ain't even finished that. Unless, all right, so you don't have to be mealy mouthed, but you don't have to be rapier like. Under no circumstances poke sarcasm at any religion, race, nationality, or political party, or you will never acquire mental domination over anybody. Fatality 6. Don't lasso people to you at social gatherings unless you have an excusable reason for doing so. Single nobody in social gathering and isolate him or her with you. When people gather together socially, they expect to mingle. When the group breaks up in pairs, it becomes kind of a party. Every hostess tries to guard against this because her more timid guests will be left out in the cold. Don't stand back and wait to be dragged into the fun. Join any minor group in like. Listen pleasantly and gradually join in, but don't leave the burden of the entertainment to the hostess. She planned the party, she invited the guests, she prepared her premises for it. She is providing the refreshments. Your duty is to help to make the party a success. If the guests fail to make it a success, the hostess only loaded herself with the work and responsibility for nothing. She will certainly screen out the wet blankets next time. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna figure it out though. Don't wear out a subject. Don't discourse on the subject until it's dead. Might have been discussed. Change it when it's at its peak of interest to sustain it with to sustain interest with most people. The conversation should flutter from subject to subjects. It should not dig deeply. It should not dig deeply into any subject for long. In order that all that can have a good time with the subject for long, in order to the all that can have a good time with the subject, the more superficial it is kept, the better. Don't even sit on one place too long. Remain with one group for too long. Move on from group to group. Make the contacts you want, but cling to nobody excessively over you, or you will wreck the party. Exchange phone numbers to make outside appointment with those you like the best, but keep your hostess in mind. Don't make her regret inviting you. All right, regret inviting you. Fatality. Oh, it's 13 up. That's crazy. All right, I'm on 10. When in the company of the opposite sex, don't brag about the other conquests. That's straightforward. Like I said, if you do that, I don't know. If you a man and you just be bragging about how many hit women you had sex with, that type of stuff, that's just lame. Women too. Like I said, that's just lame. Period. Like I said, it's just lame activity because you can gauge for one. Like I said, it's seeking validation. And I think that anybody can see. I think everybody got like this vision where they can just tell when somebody is being like very arrogant, or also just you can see what they like. People just, you can tell like low self-esteem people very easily. how they speak. And like I said, if you speaking about how many girls you hit, how many niggas, how many men you hit, or had sex with, and how many men you conquered, how many women you conquered. It's just it shows where your mind is at and what you really value in your heart, and it's very repulsive. So yeah, and like I said, I grew beyond that age. Like I said, that was the type of thing. I mean, even then, even though I don't have many conquests in my life, it's just like, or just women, it's just like you can tell that's like it's so high school, it's so like elementary, so what they be calling it grade school. That's like it's such an immature thing to do, and you can tell people's maturity level when they speak about that type of stuff. So yeah, and now you see it all throughout high school, and then even when I got older a little bit, when I was socializing with people, they would talk about it, and it's just very low vibrational. I don't like using cliche terms, but that's the best way I can really explain it. But Fatality 10, when in the company of the opposite sex, don't brag about other conquests. The women or men you wish you are with wants here only by himself. He has groomed himself for you and is tensely hoping to fascinate you. If instead of talking about him, you talk about his rivals, can you blame him for not being incensed? That's crazy. Why did the words he chose in this book is, I ain't gonna lie, it's fucking terrible. Alright, Fatality 11, lean a little towards the sophisticated. When with company with strangers, talk neither like a pessimist nor like a great optimist. You will establish the ideal rapport by leaning a little towards the sophisticated. So as long as you do not stare or use sarcasm, above all, don't confide your secret ambitions to strangers or to other guests at the party. You might arouse only envy or decision from your listeners. Blowing your own horn never bring you mental domination. Mental domination requires you to cast off all feeling of self and think only of the other person. Don't Fatality 12. Don't order people around except in jest. Don't talk commandingly to people as if giving them orders unless you know them intimately, but they take it as a joke. For mental domination, it is more effective to talk on a even, unemotional keel, laugh readily at good jokes, and if the joke is poor, help out the joker by smiling heartily and changing the subject. Always try to spare them embarrassment, put no one to shame, don't want to show up inconsistencies in knowledge nor faults, particularly in public. Everyone likes to retain his dignity. If Jack or Jane is witty or a good comedian, don't laugh at him as if he were a downright fool. He wants to be considered brilliant, funny, not an imbecile. Fatality 13, never engage in comparison praising. Never praise anyone by comparing them to somebody else who looks just like them, unless the other person is a celebrity or decidedly handsome or younger than the individual. Even then, he might not enjoy the comparison, as he might not agree that the other person is handsome or attractive. Everybody longs to be unique and prefers to be admired for being unusual. You may compare certain unusual features, nevertheless, with those of glamorous or highly respected public figures. About the worst insult you can give a man with a good figure, somebody shaped much like you, only he is bigger than you. Even if you do not is such a somebody, don't tell the man he is praising it. Tell the man that you are praising it. That is sure one way to lose all mental domination over him. Don't tell a dark-haired woman that she is very pretty, that she strongly resembles another beauty, except that the beauty is only taller and blonde. All comparisons between people are risky at the best. The slightly favoring of the other person, even if it's insignificant, strangers the person being praised and diminishes instead of increases your mental domination over him. To tell Jack, for instance, that he is better built in every way than Peter, except that Peter is broader shouldered than he will insult Jack more than if you ignore his figure completely. The same applies to a woman who is not tall enough, whose hair is not curly enough, or whose breasts are not high enough. A final word: by observing the 13 fatalities, you will never say to people what you should ever say to them. You will easily maintain the mental domination you have acquired over them so far. The kind of things people don't like to hear about themselves: that his language is poor, that he is getting old, that he is a fool with women, that he can't hang on his money, he lacks the backbone, that he looks sissy-ish, that he looks like a weakling, that his shoulders are narrow, that he is short, that he is probably impotent, that he can't take a joke, that he is not intelligent, that he has a bad memory, that his education is faulty. What no woman likes to hear about herself. Never tell her that she is well preserved for her age. Never tell her that she is turning gray. Never tell her that She's putting on weight. Never tell her she looks just like another woman you know. Never ask her for her age. I heard that one all my life. I think that's the most common one. You should never ask a woman her age. I knew growing up that was just a no-no. Just never do. Is to never ask a woman her age. I about to say I got good at that. Like I said, it's a lot of things I just don't ask women. I don't ask them. I think even in relationships, we just never ask. It's just certain questions you just never ask because you know that's gonna pull out a whole can of worms. And like I said, you just gotta learn how to avoid that type of stuff. So she's putting on weight. Never tell her she's old. I already scanned that one. Never ask her age. Never ask her if she's been married before. Never ask her if she works. If she tells you she does. Feign astonishment and ask her how does she. Wait, what the hell? Never ask her if she works. If she tells you she does, feign astonishment and ask her how can she look so glamorous and yet be working. Never act as if you took it for granted and held that she held the job. Don't don't. That's so funny. Why do you use this word? Don't refer to her varicose veins, bunions, moles, or any of her imperfections. Never ask if she has children. Tell her that she looks like a young woman who has led an easy, luxurious life. Never ask her how big her feet are. That is crazy. Who would ask anybody how big their feet is? But yeah, that's the end of the Lost 7. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This book it's even though it's dealing with the mental domination, but also just a part of the Franklin Rudolph Young just psychic ability book series. A lot of this got to deal with manipulation in a way, but I mean, it's very useful. I think it just helps with just exercising your will and your mental will at that. So yeah, if y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I don't know what I'm next to do next chapter. Let me look at the chapter. Lost 7. How to overcome obstacles and win friends when talking with others. How many pages is this? 73. Sorry, so that's like 10 pages. So, alright. So, yeah. Alright. Y'all have a good day.